Hello everyone, here we are again. I'm going to give an update on Memoria Press kindergarten curriculum. And this week I wanted to talk about what I like and what I dislike about the program. What I absolutely love and what I could maybe do without, but I'm glad that we have it. So first things first, I want to start with the manual. This has been an absolute godsend. There's no question about it. Every night when my husband and I discuss about how homeschooling went for the day, I can tell him I can rest. I can fall asleep with peace and serenity because I know someone smarter than me with more education than I has put all of these things together for me. So all I have to do is follow step by step what they say to do. And I am so grateful for that. We have finished all the weeks up to week 7. We have finished week 7. And for example, dictate a simple sentence that includes words with the letter P. I did not think that I'm sorry, I've got fruit on my hand from making a fruit smoothie. I'm so sorry about that. That is not blood, that is strawberries and raspberries and blueberries. So here's my fruit smoothie over here. So Pam pats the pig. And that's what we did. We did Pam pats the pig, and I left out pink. My daughter started freaking out, didn't think that she would be able to write a sentence as I said the words, but we took it step by step. And this was really tried her. This really made her think and it sound out, and we had to go really slow at it, but we did it, and she was so proud of herself. And I would have never thought to do that unless I was told to do that. So I'm grateful for this manual. I don't have to guess if we're getting enough copy work, if we're getting enough math, if we're getting enough phonics, if we're getting enough enrichment. It's all laid out for me. I can rest because it's done for me. I don't know what I would do without this. The second thing that I'm really grateful for was this was the first week, week 7, that we actually read out of the book. And she was super nervous about this, but the first thing she read was just 3 lines. That's it. That's all she had to read. And that really put her at ease and calmed her. She actually turned the page and wanted to read more, but I stopped her because I didn't want her to get frustrated on words that she did not know yet. I wanted her to wait. But she felt it gave her so much confidence that she could read this and she could read it quickly, that it really encouraged her and strengthened her where she felt like she was weak. So I'm really grateful that the first thing that they read was not very daunting. It was just 3 simple lines, and she was more than prepared to read these simple lines. It wasn't guessing or anything. She knew right away, and she read it quickly because leading up to that, she had been very much groomed to be able to read these words. So I really like that. Also, the math, Rod and Staff. Before we did Rod and Staff, we did The Good and the Beautiful Level K Book 1. We did not finish and go to Book 2. We decided to quit that and pick up this. She was learning math facts. She was learning how to do math with The Good and the Beautiful, but she was not retaining it. They did not have it set up where it was review and the structure would... Excuse me, I've got to feed a preschooler. Yay! All right, thank you. Say thank you. Very good. It was not set up to review over and over and over, writing your numbers and your math facts. Memoria Press has set up that you review with this, you review with this, the numbers book, and you also have worksheets to do review. You do review. You learn the lesson, you review, then you do more worksheets for review. And for my child, she needs that. She needs going over and over and over and over with her. And the cards, I would have never thought to do cards. but especially for kindergarten. But she is learning so much by introducing addition cards, flashcards, little by little as she learns her addition facts. Granted, we're only on, just finished week 7, so we only know 0 plus 1 equals 1, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. So next week we get into 0 plus 2. But I'm so grateful for the built-in review and mastery that Memoria Press has set up. I love it. I think it's ingenious, and I don't think I'll ever go back to anything else. Now, going on to phonics. Once again, they don't just teach a letter and then leave them to it. There's review. You go over and over it and over it. So you learn it here, and then you review in these 2 books. And it's so refreshing that one day we can learn the letter and do the work in the letter. For example, F. So one day we do just this. We do just this, and then for the next day or next 2 days, you go through these books and do all the F pages in these books and review and go over and go over. It's so refreshing that we don't just teach it once and then move on and think the child has it for kindergarten. It's set up for learning and review. And they don't leave you hanging, Mama. They give you a book. They give you step-by-step instructions of what you're supposed to do. Here's the student's page, and here's what you say. It's set up for success. It absolutely sets you up for success if you use it and you use it appropriately how they suggest that you use it. I love this. It's amazing. I wouldn't change it. Also, the last thing that I love is the music enrichment. I love to play this while we're working on copy work, or if we're doing crafts, or we're just hanging out, maybe at lunch, playing the music. And something about us is my husband's was a music major, and I was a music major in college. So we know a lot of music. We know a lot of history. So we're able to communicate more with our children about the pieces of music more than that's in here. But we are just so grateful for this. The kids love this. Week 6, Peter and the Wolf. We listened to this the whole week. We loved it. We listened to more than just the first section that's on the YouTube. We listened to the whole thing, and they listened to it almost entirely one day. So we love the music, and I love this guide. It's awesome. Now, some of the things that I could do without. I don't hate them, but I could do without them. First one is the alphabet animal coloring book. And the reason why I don't like it is because I have a scribbler. My kindergartner, she thinks that coloring is a waste of time. She would rather act out being a squirrel, or act out being a shark, or flying around like the eagle, swimming like the seahorse, stinging like, she would rather act these things out than sit down, be still, and color. That's not her. That's not what she likes to do. But your student may be very, very different. We have a little boy in our church. He would much rather sit down and color than do anything else. So it just all depends on your student. My student hates coloring, so we really could do without this book. It's no big deal. So I usually just don't even bring it out when the manual tells me to. Also, something I could do without is the Christian Liberty Nature Reader. I think this is more of the kids. They like to look at the pictures, and we kind of discuss it. But me sitting there and reading it, usually they get really bored because it's just like fact, 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 fact. My kids are still a little young to just like listen to that. But they like looking at the pictures, and we discuss, and I will kind of glance through and pick up different facts about the animal that I think that they would think was interesting. And so then I'll talk about that. But for me to just sit there and read it, no, they're not going to. My kids they don't listen to that. Yours may, and yours may think it's wonderful. I do have a friend that's also doing this curriculum. And her she loves this. She absolutely loves this. So it's just my opinion. So, and the last thing is the story Bible. And the reason why I think that we do not really use this is because my husband is a pastor and he really does his own thing with the kids. We catechize them using the New City Catechism, and we also do scripture memory fellowship by learning scripture through that. So my kids get a solid foundation with the Bible training and at night with their dad. So I feel like I can read the story out of here and we can look at the pictures one day a week, really, and they're fine, they're good. I will say this is a very colorful book, and that's great. It really captures the kids' attention. I do like that part of it, but we just don't use it as much as the manual tells us to because they already get a lot at night with their dad. So, all right, well, that's the things that I love about Memorial Press 7 weeks in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned.